positive review of this movie. Seriously though, yes, Lion King 2019 does have a lot more in common than any of the other Disney remakes have. So much so that it is essentially the same movie, and that's what a lot of the negative criticism is coming from. Most of it, anyway. But then I ask you, what were you expecting? Like, every trailer for this movie is a scene from the original with some lines from the original. That's not what the Jungle Book trailer is like. This movie gives you exactly what it was promising. So I don't know why people are so shocked at this. Although one of the more logical criticisms is that the animals show no emotion because of how realistic they look, which is true. Yeah, that is true, but then looking realistic was the intention. That's like the most part of it is seeing how actual animals would react to these situations. But that doesn't necessarily change the fact that it is something I really don't understand is how people are acting like this is this huge end for Disney. Like, this shows that they are not creative anymore. They peaked, which I think is completely ridiculous, because we all know Disney peaked a long time ago, which is why their most successful ventures are from franchises that they bought the rights to. This movie does have minor changes that make a big impact. Like, for example, Zazu. Not the biggest change, but I didn't really hate him or anything. I just didn't find he was super funny in the original. He was very funny in this. I think he had a lot of... I think having Killed was really good. Like, I think it's like real. The fact that he's a real bunny, he has these static movements, really make him funny. It's the new dialogue is great. Like, it's not all like it's not shot for shot in the same way that the Psycho remake shot for shot. There are a lot of similar lines. There's also a lot of new stuff. Like, the most is with Scar, who's a lot more damaged he is in this. Like, and it implies that Mufasa gave him his scar, which I love that. I think that's great. And here's a spoiler. Big shock. Scar kills Mufasa. And before he does, after his long live the king line, Scar scratches Mufasa's face, giving him a scar. I think that's brilliant. I think like that just says so much about him without even needing to say a whole lot. And those of you deep Lion King fans know that there was a deleted plot line where Scar wanted Nala to be his queen, which was deleted for a lot more than time restraints, if you know what I mean. But this would add that in, only instead of Nala, it's with Simba's mother, which not only calls back to the Lion King's history with Hamlet, but it also, I think it gives a lot more to Scar to why he killed Mufasa, aside from just hating him and wanting the throne. This is more complex version. I know, like, and I love the original Scar. The original Scar is definitely a lot more fun, a lot more entertaining, more fun to watch. But I think this new Scar is more endearing. Although it doesn't work 100% of the time. Like, for example, Scar isn't nearly as cowardly in this as he is in the original, which is why, like, the ending with him, like, running for Simba doesn't make a lot of sense. It feels like this version of Scar could just attack him. It feels a little more like he's Shere Khan, but not too much. Another big change they made is with Timon and Pumbaa. There's, like, the biggest one that I think got a lot of laughs is that they're nihilists. They believe that life is completely pointless and that you should watch it for yourself, which I really love, because usually when characters' beliefs come in complete contrast of the heroes, they are the villains. But no, I think it's really refreshing to have good friends of the heroes have completely different beliefs. And aside from Seth Rogen not being able to sing, which I think surprises no one. He's great as Pumbaa. Like, they give him this sarcastic wit to him, so he's not quite as quick as Timon, but yeah, he has a form of he's smart in his own right. He has some very, very funny moments, and I think the highlight of this movie, I'm not going to give it away, but when Timon and Pumbaa are distracting the hyenas, there is I think you've seen the movie, know what I'm talking about. There is they don't do like the hula dance, they do something else, and it is 100% better about what they do in the original. And even for you people who don't like the movie, have to admit that was hilarious. I just love when Disney does stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Not sure why they put James Earl Jones back though. I mean, I get seeing all these different actors taking over. Why bring him back just to do mostly the same dialogue? They do add new stuff to him, like the part where Zazu says that Scar should have been banished when he challenged Mufasa, but Mufasa saying that because he's his brother, he'll always have a home there, which fixes a minor plot hole. It wasn't a huge deal, they didn't need it corrected, but I like that they did. Big disappointment though was Michael Keane as one of the hyenas, because I don't know who the other guy's name, but he's with this other hyena, and they're supposed to be like, the comedic villain's henchman, and all they really do is just make personal space jokes. It just gets really tiresome. It's like the hyenas are made to be much more intimidating. They're not just solely incompetent henchmen. Like Sarabi, Whoopi Goldberg's character in the original, who he doesn't voice him here. She's much more intimidating. She's like the leader of all the hyenas. Like, I know in the original he was the leader out of that 3. I don't know if he was the leader of all the hyenas, but yeah, they all like cower before her. They respect her. She has this really sinister voice, which makes you think, if they did that to her, imagine how sinister they could do a new version of Ed. Ed is the hyena from the first movie, who's Jim Cummings. He didn't talk, he just had that mad cackle. You could have made him really scary. I think that was a huge missed opportunity. You could make him like that one really scary grasshopper from A Bug's Life, the one they like keep on a leash. I think that would be, you could make him like slob all over the place. You could make him like this weapon, this like mad dog, this wild card that they hyenas unleash when it's absolutely necessary. That would have been great. Although a change that isn't like huge, but I really like, is that we don't find out that the hyenas are chasing the wildebeest until after the stampede starts. So when Simba growls, it does look like he actually started the stampede until it reveals that the hyenas are chasing him. So that's like this is little moments. You might not notice them like right away, but just reflecting back on them, you notice these are good. These are these moments that add changes, and I can see why people don't like it, especially if they like just saw the original and then went to see this. Bad idea, terrible idea. You should not do that. I like it. I think it's a good movie. I'd really like to see it again sometime soon. I like a lot of these remakes. I had no interest in Aladdin or Dumbo, but like I think Jungle Book was great. I loved the new Beauty and the Beast. I liked Pete's Dragon, although most people didn't like that because it was too creative. Stuff like that. That's a topic for another day, I suppose. Let's see if I missed anything. Oh, a scene that was included here that wasn't is that we get to see Nala leave the Pride, seeing just how bad things are on Scar, which is, I think it's great. Like, is it weird that I think this is the only of the remakes that really take advantage of fleshing out the characters? Because I feel like that happens a lot. Like, it's not like spout out, but you see him in these moments how there's a bit more to them than there was in the old one. Although a sheer moment of incompetence is that "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" takes place in the daytime. Like, the sun's not even down. It is hilarious. I don't think they should have made this a musical though. Like, the musical's kind of odd because the animals made so realistic they're not really able to like dance or bounce around with the music. They just like walk along with it. Especially "Be Prepared." Like, that's like one of my favorite Disney songs ever. But I really think they should have just cut it and just made it a speech because that's how it starts out at. It seems interesting because the hyenas and Scar don't have this relationship that they did in the old one. They're just like Scar shows up, the hyenas all like surrounding him, then Scar makes his proposition. He starts talking, and as he's talking, music starts playing, he starts to rhyme, he starts to go faster, and it's just, no, it's not good. At least this guy could sing the whole song. No offense, Jeremy Irons. I'm not kidding, he's not gonna see this video. Yeah, I think it would have been much better if they just cut the songs. So yeah, Zazu's better, Timon and Pumbaa better, Scar's better. Nala, Simba and Nala are more or less the same characters. And then, unfortunately, because Scar is so intense, here we didn't get that. He does have a moment with Simba as a kid, but it's not nearly as playful as he was in the original, which is too bad because that's like one of my favorite scenes. Like, despite Scar constantly trying to kill this kid, you can tell just by the way he talks to him that deep down there is some affection for him. Not enough to stop his plans, of course, but there is a sense that he does consider this kid his nephew, which isn't the case in the new one. In the new one, he just glares at Simba like he just wants to kill. Like he can barely stand him, which is weird because as sinister as Scar is in the original, you could tell just the way he jokes around with Simba why Simba trusts him to run the kingdom after he leaves. In this one, there's like, even for a kid, he should be able to see right through Scar. I mean, because that's just ridiculous. I remember having a lot more to say about this. Oh, that's just about it. Sure, No. That's it. Go on. You can see it. It's good. I like it. I know people who have like not seen it just solely on the reviews, and I just really hate people like that. See it for yourself. Well, if you want to wait for it to come out, that's fine. Although the only way you're probably gonna see it is on Disney Plus. So, yeah, theater's the only way to see it now. Yay! I better make a video about that. I have things to say about Disney Plus. Believe you me. Oh, because I'll never see Loki again. So sad.